Since the earliest times, humanity has always sought answers about its origin and purpose. Stories like that of Agartha echo these questions, connecting cultures and traditions from different parts of the world. What makes this even more fascinating is noticing how these accounts relate to biblical narratives, such as the Garden of Eden. Consider the description of a perfect place, full of peace and knowledge, guarded by superior beings, an intriguing similarity to the paradise described in Genesis. The legends of Agartha speak of a people who isolated themselves to protect sacred knowledge. This concept reminds us of biblical stories of civilizations like Noah's, who, in the face of a ruined world, preserved divine creation. And what about the story of the Tower of Babel? There, humanity sought to reach the heavens, but ended up divided by the confusion of languages. In Agartha, we find the opposite. A people who chose to descend into the depths to maintain their unity and wisdom. The contrast between ascending and descending is a parallel that invites us to reflect on the paths chosen by humanity. Additionally, in many cultures, the underground is seen as a place of mystery and revelation. In the Bible, we have the story of the cave of Machpelah, where Abraham was buried. This cave, according to Jewish tradition, would be the entrance to the Garden of Eden. Could Agartha be seen as an alternative interpretation of this hidden realm? It is fascinating how different traditions, both religious and mythical, point to an underground place full of spiritual significance. These narratives invite us to consider the possibility that Agartha is more than a myth, but a metaphor for humanity's search for purpose and redemption. And as we explore the connections between Agartha and other traditions, the mysterious tunnels linking this realm to the world call us on a new journey. Get ready to uncover what lies just beneath our feet. The mysterious tunnels that connect Agartha to the outside world are a central element of its legend. They are described as endless passages linking continents and oceans, guarding secrets that could revolutionize our understanding of history. Interestingly, the idea of underground pathways is also mentioned in biblical traditions. The cave of Machpelah, where Abraham was buried, is described as a place of profound spiritual significance, identified in some traditions as an entrance to Eden. Could these connections be more than mere coincidences? In the scriptures, we encounter several moments when the underground becomes a space of revelation. Jonah, swallowed by the great fish, experiences a moment of reflection and redemption in the belly of the earth. Similarly, the tunnels of Agartha could symbolize this journey of self-discovery, where physical descent reflects a deeper spiritual quest. Imagine an explorer navigating these corridors, confronting fears and finding answers. Isn't it a powerful metaphor for our own inner journey? Furthermore, these underground passages appear in global mythologies, such as the descriptions of tunnels beneath Egyptian pyramids or the pathways connecting Shambala, the Mayan underworld. Could these legends, like the biblical narrative, share a common origin, or are they expressions of a universal archetype about the unknown? The very fact that so many cultures share the concept of underground corridors invites us to reevaluate what we think we know about human history, and what if these tunnels truly exist? Perhaps they are a physical echo of spiritual realities described in the Bible and other traditions. As we delve into the historical accounts surrounding Agartha, the figure of Alexandre Saint-Yves d'Alvedre offers a fascinating perspective on these stories, as we will see below. The story of Alexandre Saint-Yves d'Alvedre is an intriguing piece of this puzzle. Imagine a 19th-century French philosopher and occultist learning secrets about Agartha from a mysterious Indian master. He described this subterranean realm as a place of preserved wisdom, shielded from disasters and the corruption of the outside world. This idea resonates with biblical passages mentioning sacred and hidden places, such as the Garden of Eden, which, after the fall of Adam and Eve, was hidden and guarded by cherubim with flaming swords. Saint-Yves believed that Agartha was real, and that its society had achieved a perfect balance between spirituality and technology. This description echoes the biblical vision of a harmonious world before the original sin. Imagine a place where science and faith not only coexist, but complement each other. Just as Noah was instructed by God to build the ark, Saint Eve invites us to believe in a divine plan to preserve knowledge and life, even in times of chaos. What makes Saint Eve's accounts even more fascinating is his mention of the Vitanian alphabet, which he claims predates all known languages, dating back to 51,900 BC. This is reminiscent of the story of the Tower of Babel, where God confounded humanity's languages. Could Agartha represent a form of linguistic reconciliation, a return to a primordial language? It is intriguing to think that, while the Bible speaks of division, Saint Eve reveals the possibility of unity. As we delve into the historical accounts, we realize that they not only illuminate the myths of Agartha, but also interact with other spiritual traditions. And if Saint Eve was correct about the advances of this realm, the next logical step is to explore the technologies he attributed to the inhabitants of Agartha. The technologies attributed to Agartha are so advanced that they challenge our understanding of time. Saint Eve described inventions resembling fiber optics, made of flexible glass, more than a century before their creation. This raises the question: has humanity achieved these advancements in the past only to lose them due to cataclysms or divine decisions? In the Bible, we see something similar in the story of the flood, where God decides to restart humanity, preserving only Noah and his family. Could Agartha represent the remnant of a civilization preserved for a higher purpose? Furthermore, the inhabitants of Agartha are said to have mastered forms of transportation, including underground railways and advanced aircraft, capable of traversing the world in record time. This echoes Ezekiel's visions in the Bible, describing a chariot of fire with shining wheels driven by celestial beings. Could these visions be ancient interpretations of advanced technologies? It is a fascinating possibility, urging us to reconsider what we call myth or divine inspiration. What is most striking is how these technologies align with an ideal of harmony with nature. Saint Eve mentioned that the inhabitants of Agartha avoided the use of carbon, prioritizing clean and sustainable energy sources. Doesn't this concept echo the biblical call for humans to be good stewards of creation? The idea of caring for the planet, using resources wisely, resonates both in Scripture and in modern sustainability narratives. If these technologies truly existed, perhaps they remain hidden somewhere, awaiting the right moment to be rediscovered. This brings us to a realm that shares remarkable similarities with Agartha, Shambala. Let us explore how these legends converge. Shambala, like Agartha, is described as a hidden realm of peace and wisdom. However, what makes this legend even more captivating is its spiritual connections. Buddhist texts, such as the Kalachakra Tantra, describe Shambala as a sanctuary of balance and harmony, where humanity will find renewal in times of great crisis. This is reminiscent of the biblical promise of a new heaven and a new earth, as described in Revelation, where God brings a kingdom of eternal peace. The concept of a hidden place guarded by spiritually elevated beings is a recurring theme across cultures. In Shambala, we encounter a benevolent king who governs with wisdom and compassion. This resonates with the messianic prophecies of the Bible, which speak of a righteous king ruling nations with equity. Could Shambala and Agartha represent different interpretations of the same concept of an ideal kingdom where love and wisdom prevail? Another fascinating aspect is the geographical association of these realms. Both Agartha and Shambala are linked to the Himalayas, a region frequently mentioned in spiritual contexts. Even Psalm 121 exalts mountains as places of refuge and strength, declaring, "I lift my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from?" Could these mountains conceal more than just imposing landscapes? Perhaps they are portals to truths we have yet to comprehend. As Shambala invites us to reflect on an ideal future, it also connects us to the past, intertwining traditions and myths that share this vision of a superior world. These stories are far from isolated. In the next section, we will explore how legends of subterranean civilizations emerge across various cultures, creating a fascinating tapestry of beliefs. Stories of subterranean civilizations appear in cultures worldwide, echoing shared knowledge and universal mysteries. In North America, the Navajo believed their ancestors emerged from an underground world beneath the Navajo Mountains. Similarly, the Maya spoke of Xibalba, an underworld accessible through vast, intricate tunnels. These myths often align with biblical narratives, such as the creation story in which humanity is formed from the dust of the earth, or the concept of underground refugees like the Cave of Machpelah, tied to Eden. In ancient Egypt, underground passages were said to connect the pyramids, often representing a journey to the afterlife. Meanwhile, in India, the subterranean realms known as Patalas were said to be home to powerful beings called Nagas, who served as guardians of treasures and esoteric knowledge. These stories share an intriguing resonance with biblical themes of divine concealment, such as Noah's Ark, which preserved life during a time of destruction, or the caves where David found sanctuary in the Book of Samuel. Across cultures, subterranean places symbolize refuge and revelation. These myths also encourage reflection on spiritual connections. In biblical texts, the underground often serves as a space for divine encounters and revelations, Jonah's time in the belly of the fish, for example, or the tunnels King Hezekiah built to safeguard Jerusalem. Could global legends of caves and tunnels represent different interpretations of humanity's spiritual quest for safety, wisdom, and understanding? Such shared motifs raise profound questions. What if these stories point to a universal truth about the human experience? As we delve deeper, we discover that these ancient myths are not merely remnants of the past. They remain sources of inspiration and exploration in the modern era. The legends of Agartha and other subterranean civilizations continue to inspire contemporary explorers, spiritual seekers, and researchers. In an age of technological advancement, these stories are often reinterpreted as metaphors for the spiritual journey, or as hints of uncharted ecosystems hidden beneath our feet. The Bible similarly celebrates the pursuit of hidden truths, as seen in Proverbs 25:2. It is the glory of God to conceal a matter. To search out a matter is the glory of kings. Figures like Ferdinand Ossendowski, a 20th century explorer, contributed fresh perspectives to these legends. In his accounts, he described moments of profound silence in Mongolia, during which the king of the underground world would pray and meditate on humanity's destiny. Such descriptions parallel biblical depictions of Christ as an intercessor, bridging the divine and human realms. This connection between mythology and faith is as evocative as it is compelling. Modern interpretations of these myths often include theories about parallel dimensions or higher states of consciousness, resembling biblical concepts like the kingdom of heaven, which Jesus taught was within and around us. Could Agartha symbolize the human aspiration for inner balance and enlightenment? Just as Christianity emphasizes the renewal of the mind, Romans 12:2, these legends suggest that humanity's ultimate journey may involve profound spiritual transformation. Science, too, plays a role in reigniting curiosity about these legends. Emerging technologies like drones and ground-penetrating radar are uncovering hidden features of the Earth, potentially offering new insights into ancient narratives. While scientific inquiry illuminates the physical world, biblical wisdom reminds us that true understanding also involves spiritual depth. These intertwined perspectives lend fresh layers of meaning to the exploration of subterranean myths. Numbers linked to Agartha and other myths hold symbolic significance that deepens our understanding of these stories. For instance, St. Yves' claim that the Vitanian language originated in 51,900 BC invites comparisons with biblical timelines, where epochs of creation are symbolically measured. Both traditions use numbers to connect humanity's spiritual evolution with divine purpose. Another remarkable number is the length of the tunnels beneath Tikal, a Mayan city, which reportedly stretch over 500 miles. This figure recalls the dimensions of Noah's Ark, meticulously recorded in Genesis. Just as the Ark safeguarded life during the flood, these tunnels may represent humanity's efforts to preserve sacred knowledge in times of upheaval. The 240-foot height of certain Egyptian pyramids evokes biblical imagery as well, specifically the Tower of Babel, a monument to human ambition. However, while Babel symbolized hubris, the pyramids and subterranean corridors appear to reflect humility and cosmic alignment. This contrast encourages reflection on the purposes of human innovation and the spiritual aspirations underlying monumental achievements. Lastly, the year 1873, when Louis Jacoliot documented the concept of Agartha, marks an era of renewed interest in ancient wisdom. This milestone echoes the biblical assurance that everything hidden will be revealed, Luke 8:17. Such moments in history remind us of humanity's enduring pursuit of truth across generations.